One of the criticisms people have about Xbox is how they don't utilize the entire calendar year when thinking about when to release their games. For instance, Crackdown 3 came out in February, and it'll be about 7 months before the next first-party title releases on September 10th, which is Gears 5. That is a long stretch of time to go without a first-party release when you're trying to sell something like Game Pass. Well, according to an interview with IGN, Matt Booty is looking to change that. He wants to release 4 high-quality first-party games a year, 1 per quarter, and I wanted to talk about that. What is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, to hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel for more content. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Anyways, we're talking about Matt Booty's comments in his IGN interview, which I will link below. And a lot of great information does come after the conferences are over, when these executives can sit down and talk to some gaming journalists and kind of delve more into some of these topics. And I wanted to learn a little bit more about the first party, Microsoft's plans for the future. You know, they just acquired Double Fine Productions. They just built a brand new studio headed by Shannon Loftus to make Age of Empires. So a lot of studios making a lot of content. And basically, Matt Booty said that the main driver for all of this is Xbox Game Pass, and Microsoft wants to make sure there is a steady stream of games going into their subscription service on both the PC and console. I mean, we both know, or we all know rather, they just announced Xbox Game Pass for PC and Xbox Game Pass for console. 2 different subscriptions, but you can get them both in Ultimate, right? But the problem with that is you need a lot of games to keep people subscribed for a long time. You look at Netflix, they're constantly coming out with new TV shows, new movies, so it makes you want to stay subscribed, and that's Xbox's goal for the future. Now, in this interview, he talks about his kind of vision and why they want to release a high-quality game, and that's his quote, high quality, every 3 months, because that feels about right. And I quote, "I think about like how long you spend with the game and just sort of the cadence of discovery there. So if you can do a game every 3 months, and if a game takes somewhere between 2 and 4 years, I mean, just think about the things that have come out recently. Things like Red Dead and God of War need to be getting into 5-6 years, right? But let's just say for the sorts of studios like Ninja Theory or Double Fine that 2 to 3 years starts to be the cadence, right? So then if you got a game a quarter and you're taking 2 to 3 years, you can kind of back into the math and say, well, wow, you probably need somewhere between 10 and 12 studios. But making games is not yet a perfect science, right? There's no creative endeavor, that is. So there's going to be things that take longer. There's going to be some things that we start and say, hey, great idea, but it just isn't, the jello doesn't want to set, right? So I think we need some buffer in there, right? So the first, that's kind of my basic answers. We'd love to be feeding a high quality game into Xbox Game Pass about every 3 months. Now, my takeaways from this clearly are, I like the idea of, hey, if something needs more time, we're going to give it more time. My kind of concern a little bit about how everything is being done for Game Pass, as it's the main driver for this whole stuff, it does kind of question, well, are you doing this for quantity or quality? Because in my opinion, quality comes first. You don't just want to be like, we need 4 games, we need 1 game a quarter. If the game's not ready, it doesn't matter, ship it. So I like to hear Matt saying that. Basically, if it's not working, if you need more time, well, you can have more time because we have a buffer. We have 15 studios. They're all doing different things. Even some of them have different teams. For instance, Playground has 2 teams, one that works on Forza Horizon, one that is working on a AAA open RPG that is rumored to be Fable. Ninja Theory, when they came out during the conference and said, hey, we've been making Bleeding Edge for a while on one of our teams, and they have other teams that are doing other multiple projects. Now 343, they are probably just only focused on Halo. The Coalition is probably only focused on Gears. So some of these studios might be doing one thing at a time. Other studios might be having multiple projects. So if you're aiming for 4 games a year, I think that's pretty doable. And all I really want from Xbox, and I've said this I don't know how many times, is I just want great titles. I want really good games, regardless of if they're AA or if they're AAA. I just want amazing experiences made by the first party studios. Now, will all of these studios make AAA games? Of course not. I don't really think so. I think 343 will always make a AAA Halo. Coalition will always make a AAA Gears. I expect whatever the initiative is making to be AAA. Same thing with Playground. And whatever Obsidian's doing after the Outer Worlds, I expect to be a big production. But studios like inXile, studios like Compulsion, studios like Double Fine, I think they do smaller AA games that fits them best. Something like Ninja Theory, a team like them, I guess it depends on the project. This one has been in development for quite some time, had 10 to 20 people on it, so it's a little bit smaller, little AA, melee action stuff, but I expect the team Hellblade, the Hellblade team, to make something a little bit more higher production value. But the point I'm trying to make here is that Xbox wants to make content and they want to have it out at a regular cadence for Xbox Game Pass. And I'm happy with the idea that they're not going to force anything, that they want quality over quantity. So if it comes to it, they'll delay a game to make sure it's right. Look at Ori and the Will of the Wisp. Last year, had a trailer for 2019. It's my most anticipated game this year. Yeah, and I was a little bit disappointed when it got delayed to 2020. But you know what? Take all the time you need, make a game as best as you can. And yeah, perfection takes time, and I expect Ori 2 to be amazing. So if something like, Compulsion's game needs an extra year, they can give it to them because they have all these other studios waiting to make stuff. And who knows, maybe they'll even go out and buy another studio, at XO19, which they announced later in the year for London. So there's a lot of studios, 15 now, some of those with different teams. You have the Global Publishing Group that does stuff like Ori and potentially something like Killer Instinct. So it seems the meme that Xbox has no games. Matt Booty and Phil Spencer, they've taken that to heart. They've acquired the studios. They're hiring them up, like over 600 and 700 in total in these studios. Like Rare went from 100 to 200. Playground wants to get up to 200. These are the people that are going to be making the games. And they want 4 games a year, which, is something that I'll be very grateful for, because sometimes Xbox really will backload a year, have a couple games in September, maybe a game at the beginning of the year, and miss out throughout those kind of dry months during the summer. I really would like to see a game a quarter, a game in March, a game in July, something in maybe May, a big game at the end of the year. I think that really does work out, and I'm excited to see what they're going to have with all the studios that they currently own. Anyways, guys, that is the video. I thought this was really cool. I know a lot of you really want Xbox to really bring it with the games. So if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel if you're new. Share this out on social media. Tell a friend about the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you always want to be notified when I drop new content, make sure you hit that notification bell. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.